Good morning, boys and girls. It's Colin back again. It's Friday, the last day for another week, and we're going to learn about horsey signs. Horsey signs and also staggered crossroad signs. So always looking out for coming traffic. Let's sing the wee song. God's love is very wonderful. Here we go. Sing along if you can.
God's love is so wonderful. God's love is so wonderful. God's love is so wonderful. Oh, wonderful love. So wide, you can't get over it. So deep, you can't get under it. So wide, you can't get around it. Oh, wonderful love.
Sing it again.
Let us sing it again
Okay.
for all that He has given us.
Sing it again. Two you lovebirds. Flopping. Here we go. Hopping, dropping. Sing along. God's love.
God's love is so wonderful. God's love is so wonderful. God's love is so wonderful. Oh, wonderful love. So high, you can't get over it. So deep, you can't get under it. So wide, you can't get around it. Oh, wonderful love. Thank the wonderful Lord.
There you go. Okay, let's see our video today and look out for those horses, the horse sign, and we might even show you some horsies and also the staggered crossroads. Here we go. Today we're looking for a horsey sign because horses are big animals on the road and we need to look out for the sign to warn us about the horses. While we're driving, we're out in the country, a main road, a very fast, busy road, and you come across a big slow sign because there's hidden dips in the road and bends in the road, and this is a 60-mile-an-hour speed limit road, so the cars are going past very, very fast. We also come across this here. This is the staggered crossroads, and it says reduce speed now. From the moment you get here, at reduced speed means you slow down, because at a staggered road there's cars coming out or turning in. They could be going this way, turning right or left, or coming out, going right or left, so it can be very, very busy traffic. For example, you're driving up the main road, so there's cars approaching from the left and also from the right, so you need to be careful. That's like life. As you go along life, everything's not straightforward. Like you come to a crossroads, you either go right, left, or straight on and straight forward. But at a staggered crossroads, you have to think more carefully, be a step ahead of yourself, always be alert for cars, for machinery, for tractors, or pedestrians, especially pedestrians out walking, maybe out walking their dog. But that's like life. Sometimes as you go along life, you get opportunities, you have to make decisions, you have an opportunity to turn left here, go a little bit further, turn right. For me, that's like hearing about God. Sometimes you hear about God at different stages in your life. For some people, it's going to church, it's going to Sunday school, it's maybe at home you might hear someone talking about God. Maybe it's at school assembly, you hear me or someone else talking about God, and today or tomorrow or next week or next year or last year. So there's always opportunities. You're driving along the road, there's many opportunities to turn left or to turn right, and the road keeps going. But eventually, the road's going to come to an end, a roundabout, a T-junction, then you must make a decision because you can't stop, you must go left or right. And that's like God for me. Whenever you're driving along, but the best time, if you want to turn left, you should always turn left, because the Google map, your sat nav will say turn left, and if you keep going, it's going to reroute you and it's going to take much longer. And some people wait until I'm going to wait till I'm older or much, much older before I decide to follow Jesus. But whenever it's happened to me many times, whenever you miss your turn, and you keep following the sat-nav, it takes you in a big detour, and you waste time, you waste energy, you waste fuel, and you can be late for your appointment. Maybe God's got a big plan for your life, and don't waste your life by saying, I'm just going to wait till the end of my life. But when you hear the opportunity to follow God, to give your life to Him, to trust in Him, when you know the Christmas story, know the Easter story, why Jesus was born, why He died on the cross to take away all your sin, then that's the time to start following God by putting and trusting in the Lord Jesus, asking Him to forgive you. That means to rescue, to save you from all your sin, then start your journey for God. It makes life so much more important, so much more special, because then God becomes a living, real person in your heart and in your life. So for me, the Staggered Junction is a lot of things happening, potential things happening. Along life's way, there's many obstacles, many problems, and I would always encourage you to take God with you as you go through life, and He helps you as you come to all the Staggered Junctions in life. So let's keep looking at that horsey sign. So we're looking for a sign with a horse on it. I'm out in the countryside, there's horses in the fields, there's cattle, and I must tell, oh, what's that? Is that a donkey? Is that a cow? Is it a pig? It's a horsey. That's right, it's a horsey. Whenever you see a triangle, red, white, with a black horse, it means there's horse riding on this road. So when you see that, immediately you know it's an animal. So you need to slow down, be alert at all times as you look for the horse. You might not see the horse on the road, but the horse, that means there's horses in this area. So from you see that sign, you'll normally see a farm, you'll see stables, or you'll see people walking on the road. Remember, a horse is an animal. It's not a machine. It's an animal, and you have to be really, really careful. When you see a horse, slow down as slow as you can, because the horse can get easily spooked, and they can throw the rider off, and there could be that rider can get hurt. The horse can get hurt, especially if you're driving a truck or a tractor or a big car. That's why, for example, when you're driving, you should never ever be in your phone when you're driving or working with your radio. At no time should you take your eye off the road. The moment you go around a bend, if you miss a sign like that, and you go around a bend, there's a big horse or horses or little ponies walking with children on them, and you could have an accident with them. So when you see cattle, or you might see one with deer or horses, whatever the animal is, it's a caution, it's a warning to slow down, pay attention, because there could be animals on the road, and we always need to watch and take care of the animals. Horses is not a new animal, it's not a modern animal. When God created the world, God made the animals. And one day, He made the elephants, the kangaroos, the horses, and the dogs. Every animal you can think of, God created them. And whenever I think of a horse, I've tried to ride a donkey. I don't know how many times I can't stay on the donkey. But I can stay on a horse. But I'm not going to get on a horse today because I don't want to fall off the horse. A big horse, I fall off, it can be quite painful. So you need to know what you're doing before you get onto a horse. But when I was much younger, I used to love horse riding. Maybe one day I'll jump onto a horse, but I want to master the donkey first. Horses are beautiful creatures, shiny, they're strong. You get black horses, brown horses, white horses, grey horses, silver horses. When I was young with my brothers, we had a wee silver horse. That's why we called it Silver. It was a little pony. But the Bible, whenever people were working, when they were walking in these fields around me, 100 years ago, 60 years ago, the farmers would have used horses to pull the ploughs, to bring in the hay. Before tractors came, it was normal for farmers in the countryside to have horses. You don't often go through cities or towns with signs like this. Most times you'll see them in the countryside. Whenever the Apostle Paul was on the road to Damascus, he fell, a big bright light shone down from heaven, and he said, Lord, who are you? And the voice came back and said, my name is Jesus, because he was going to persecute the Christians or punish the Christians. He might have fallen off a horse, or he might have been walking. But quite often horses in their thousands were used by army, by soldiers. In the Bible times, we read about lots of horses. Whenever Pharaoh was crossing through the Red Sea with his Egyptian army, there there was horses and chariots. So the horse is not a new name. It was quite often used in Bible times, as was donkey, as was the mule, as was the horses. A beautiful creature. And of course the Bible talks about when there's a saddle for riding and the bridle for controlling, and a little bit of metal on the horse's mouth that's used to control the horse to go left or right or to stop. That little bit in the horse's mouth controls the horse. Without that, the horse will just run and run and run, and the rider then cannot control the horse left, right, stop, go, etc. And the tongue, the Bible then refers to the tongue in the book of James about be very, very careful with your tongue, because when you say the wrong word, call somebody a name, it can be very, very hurtful. So always watch your tongue and control your tongue. Learn lots of new words, learn sentence structure, and put your words all together. There's enough words out there to say without using bad words. Quite often people curse whenever they're angry, and that's what God does. He controls the anger, controls the cursing, all these things, because he wants to control the tongue as he does every part of your body. Wonderful lesson when I think about the sign and the beautiful horse. Can you ride a horse? So that was a staggered junction, not the staggered crossroad. The staggered junctions, as you're driving, roads are appearing on the right and the left all the time, and always watch out for the signposts or warning to keep you to slow down, and especially for animals on the road, or even more especially for children walking on the road. One of my favourite songs, Go Tell the Good News. Sing along if you can. That's all for me, Colin, here. Another week's gone by, lots of traffic signs, and we're doing something different next week. We're going to go all over Northern Ireland looking for towns and villages at a place maybe near you. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you soon. Bye.